not having guests or anything on tonight. But anyhow, so I do illustration, graphic design, and art direction. I've been an art director for about 7 years, going on 8 pretty soon, which is kind of crazy. And I've been doing graphic design and illustration for about 20 years. And when I'm not doing graphic design and illustration or art direction, I am working on graphic novels like Jacob's Apartment and Two Stories, which are my 2 graphic novels that I wrote and illustrated, both of which took me about 5 years apiece to do. And I'm working on my 3rd graphic novel, Not Death But Love, for Turner Publishing, written by Lavender Vroman. And that's what I'm going to be doing on this stream, is working on comics. So I don't want to spend too much time promoting the comics and stuff, because I'll be playing trailers. I have a new trailer, which I'm really excited about, that I'll be playing, that was provided by Adam Lore. In case anybody's curious, check out Adam Lore's. I don't know if it's still up, but he did a very hilarious video with an AI. I think it's an AI of Joe Biden endorsing Jacob's Apartment, which is really hilarious. And he also includes the Kemble, which is great. So for those of you who aren't in the know, I did TCAF a couple years ago, or I think it was about a year ago. And I did a panel at TCAF. I was really excited to do the panel. And I looked at all of the brochures, all of the convention materials that were being passed out, had me listed as Joshua Kemble instead of Kemble. And so I've been joking that people who watch this live stream are part of the Kremlin, which is our secret inner circle, because Kemble is like my dark alter ego. That's kind of the joke that we've been running with. But anyhow, Adam kind of took it, ran with it, and made a really hilarious video. I'm hoping to show it probably on a break at some point. I think I got Adam's blessing to do so. So make sure you check out Adam Lore. And then I think that's about it. So we're going to get into rocking some arts. Again, it's like Monday, it's 11:30 p.m. So I'm guessing a lot of my viewers are not awake, but I have roughs to do. So I'm going to be working on roughs for at least the next 2 hours. I don't know if I'm going to finish a page of roughs, but that's the goal. So let's get to our camera. Boom. Okay. Down here is the script, the section of script that I'm working from. And then to the right over here is the page that I'm going to be working on, the rough. You'll notice that it's the completed rough from yesterday. So I have that. I also have a printout of the rough here. I print these out as I go so I can read things in sequence. But I think I won't be needing this. And we're going to rough out the next page of script. So that's basically what's on the docket for today. So we'll see if anybody shows up. Again, we have a lot of night owls in our crew, but it is an awfully late stream for I don't know how this works too. I think I added memberships to my channel. So if you guys know more about that or see anything on how that works, I'll read a little more to it. But it looks like you can become a channel member. And I think it costs like $2 or $2.99 or something a month, and it gives you access to extra things like loyalty markers that will show up in chats, as well as a special emoji. And I'm planning on adding different emojis that you'll have access to if you're a member. And then maybe at some point I'll add more perks and stuff like that. I just don't want to overcommit to a lot on this YouTube channel. I do know, I'm kind of forgetting, but I think it can kind of credit you as well at the like on the YouTube page. So I'm learning more about it. I don't really know a ton about it yet. It's a relatively new thing on YouTube. But if you guys see the membership button, let me know. If not, I'll figure it out and I'll have more info for you guys later on. And if you're out there and you know how YouTube memberships work, reach out to me and let me know so I can be less of a boomer about the whole thing. Okay, so that being said, we're going to get into this page. So the first thing I'm going to do is recap the last page. That's what I like to do, is kind of recap so that I know what exactly is going on. Let's see here. So I like to kind of go over the previous page so I remember the action that's happening. And then we're going to what we'll do is write out all the different actions that are going to be panels on the page. And then from there, I'll basically take that breakdown, do a thumbnail, and then from the thumbnail, I'll do a rough, and then I save the rough and send it to my publisher. And if I finish my rough in decent amount of time, then I will possibly play a game of Risk. But honestly, tonight I'm having such a late start, that may not happen, but we'll see. So if you're out there, you're listening to this or you're watching it after the fact, thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll get a lot of art done during this thing. And I'm hoping that this will be a fun kind of exercise in working. I also put up a vlog today, if you guys are curious, so you can check that out. I talked a little bit about kind of improvisation and art, and like how some basic rules of improvisation can help a lot with creative endeavors, especially collaborations, but also with yourself. So allowing yourself to like yes and things, as well as allowing yourself to to play and fail. Those are kind of like two really key ingredients to making art that I've found in my old boomer years. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna get into racking some pages, and we'll see what the script is like on this. Okay, so right now it says Elizabeth jumps to her feet and clutches Robert's arm desperately. Did I accidentally skip a part? Okay. No, we have to recap because I'm kind of forgetting what happened on the last page. Also, my allergies are kicking in, so if I'm like covering my eye, that's what that is. Okay. Few extras. Okay. So I'm gonna reduce this too because this is just for reference of the previous page. So that's gonna be very helpful. So I'll call this ref. Okay. Okay. I think I can get rid of pretty much all of this. Okay, so we're going to make a new layer that's called list. Pardon my coughing and throat clearing. It's kind of craziness. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our list layer. Hopefully you guys can see okay. I think I have this pulled a little too wide. Let me reduce it down. That should give you a better view. Okay, so I have my list layer. Okay, so on the oh yeah, we were going to recap the previous page. This is the problem with starting late. I end up all discombobulated, which is a great word and might appear on the roughs. Discombobulated. I also just realized I need to put this somewhere I'll notice. Okay. That's going to be somewhere real obvious. Okay, cool. I just stumbled upon my DMV stuff for registering my vehicle, which I'm like, I should probably pay that vehicle registration, which came right around tax time. Really fun. Okay, now I sound like an old man. What's with taxes and registering vehicles? Both things I actually believe in, but but they're never fun to do. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go over the previous page and then we'll get into our breakdown. So on the previous page, Robert has walked into a dinner party being hosted by, well, not even a dinner party, more like an afternoon tea, being hosted by Elizabeth at their residence, Casa Guidi. And Robert is stunned to find out that Mr. Home, Henry Douglas Home, is at the residence along with Mrs. Reimer, which is a surprise to Robert. Robert is just kind of like not happy about it. He ends up kind of losing his temper a little bit. And then we're on the page we roughed yesterday, which is Mrs. Reimer is saying, Mr. Browning. And then second panel, Home is basically saying, do not trouble yourself, dear lady. Mr. Browning has been storing up his vitriol. So Home has successfully kind of triggered Robert. Robert is feeling foolish, but Robert then says, my vitriol, it is you who have treated me with disdain, you who exploit the grief of the weak-minded and hopeless. And then Mrs. Reimer, Elizabeth is like a little shocked. Mrs. Reimer says, Mr. Browning, you forget yourself. So then Holmes says, you bear a grudge against me, sir, and I know why. And then Robert says, I bear you no grudge, that you are a confidence man and a fraud, I am certain. And then Holmes responds, you are offended that on the night we first met, the spirit crowned, it shouldn't say crowed. Oh, well, I'm sure my publisher will notice that. Your wife's worthy head instead of your own. So that's where we're at. So now the tension is high. Tensions are high. And now we're on to the next page. Okay, that's actually good because that reminds me of where we are in the story. Okay, tension's high. Okay. Let me make sure. I think we're good. Okay. So now I'm going to do the breakdown, which actually this looks like a simpler page, which is cool. A lot less text. So it's going to be, one is Elizabeth jumps to her feet. Jumps to feet, clutching our arm. So she's going to be like, almost like, she's like the person, the Victorian version of like, hold me back, bro, hold me back. Elizabeth's like, okay, I got you. Don't do this, Robert. Don't do this. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So then Robert, I think Robert text here. So Robert's going to say, you are not welcome here, Mr. Home. Wilson. 3. Wilson enters. So glad Wilson's back. Wilson's the maid, and she's awesome. She's a rad character. Robert's going to say, we might have to break this down more simply. Okay. Because it is a lot of action. So Robert says, show Mrs. Reimer and her guest out. So he kicks them out of the house. Scandalized. Miss Reimer stands up. Home by the hand. Six. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to condense these. Elizabeth says, please. Okay, you know what we could do? Elizabeth says, please. So EBB text. We're kind of trying to break down, at this point, I'm just trying to break down the general actions and stuff that I need to depict in the thumbnail. It's a really good activity to do before you waste a lot of time like drawing or thumbnailing. it's, for me, it helps me to iterate my thoughts to just kind of make a list real quick. So we have 6 panels so far. Okay, so then we've got, let's see here. So Mrs. Reimer says, "Come, Daniel, she's gone mad." So Mrs. R text. And then, oh man, this is too much. Okay, it's funny. It looked like a simple page, but it's a lot of action. So we're going to have to condense these, I think. So Mrs. R text as they sweep out of the room, maybe? Okay. H and Mrs. R. So home and Mrs. Reimer walking out. There's still more condensing that's going to happen later on. So Mrs. Reimer and home sweep out of the room without a backward glance. So R and H leave room. Heads, I'm going to just say heads high. Like they should have kind of a snobby demeanor as they leave the room. Okay, and then we're going to do without a backward glance, Wilson hurrying to catch up. So Wilson catching up. Okay. And then we've got 8, which is going to be EBB watching them leave. Okay. So I think this can be condensed into 1. So that gets us down to 7. So we can have that as first panel. Third is Wilson hurries in and Robert's text. So again, that can be condensed. So that'll be 2. So that gets us down to 6. Robert's text. Okay. This is a lot of action. So I think that's going to do it. I think that gets us to what? 3, 4, 5, 6. We got a classic 6-panel page. Sweet. Okay, so we have our list worked out. That's good. That's the start. We have our previous page of roughs over here. This is just the rough page, just so we can understand where we are and like where we are in the story sequentially. I might want to have, you know what we're going to do? I'm just going to drag in the finished page. Oh, let's see here. Let's find the finished page for page 71. Does that have a good wide shot? That kind of has a good angle of the room. So I'm going to drag that in and use that as a reference as well. So that way I can kind of, between the rough from the previous page and this, it gives me an idea of the actual staging of the room and stuff. And I think here I also should have Wilson, I think was in the last scene wearing her Italian outfit. And being that she's a maid, I don't want her to have like too many outfits. Like I feel like it's almost like a uniform. So we're going to have that too. That has Wilson in it. So I don't have to like pull ridiculous amounts of things to kind of draw from it. Okay, cool. So we're in good shape to start our thumbnails. So I'm going to save. And now we'll start the thumbnails. So thumbnails are, I think I've explained this before, but just in case you're tuning in for the first time, thumbnails are working at like the size of your thumbnail, kind of. It's just a real quick sketch to kind of work out the page. And then from there, you can kind of go to like tighter roughs that then go to the client. But the thumbnail is kind of like an iteration for you to visually work things out and then you can build out from there, make a larger rough that's more to scale, and then from there, final pencils and inks and stuff like that. So we're just doing thumbnails real quick first and making okay time. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new layer, call it thumb. Okay. And then we will just draw a thumb, a big crazy thumb. You know what? We'll give it like some real like cracks in it. And I'm just kidding. We're not actually gonna draw a thumb. Okay. Actually it would be funny to kind of be like, even though that's not how the thumb bone works, you know, just do like maybe it's a severed thumb. So we're gonna draw that, and all right, there's our thumbnail sketch. Yep, I think that works. Okay, our thumbnail sketch is there. There's some hairs on the thumb. It's a very hairy thumb. Okay. Anyhow, that was my thumbnail drawing. I'm kidding. Okay, so let's actually draw a real thumbnail. So the first one is Elizabeth jumping to her feet. So the last panel was this, not this. This. So Elizabeth was here. I think if Elizabeth is jumping to her feet, clutching Robert's arm, and Robert is going to be saying, "You are not welcome here, Mr. Home." Okay. So I think what I'll do is it's going to be like Elizabeth. She's going to be clutching Robert's arm. And I think she'll have like, you know, she's got some immediate posture going on here. I think her head should be kind of looking to Robert like, "Don't do it, Robert." So there's again, this is a thumbnail just to work out the action. So that'll be like Elizabeth's posture. She's wearing like a dress or whatever. So we've got Elizabeth, and then we're gonna have Robert, who I think he's saying, "You are not welcome here, Mr. Home Wilson." Let's see the staging. I think we kind of repeat the shot from like panel 4 of the last page, just a little bit. So here's Robert. His arm is here. Again, this is just a thumbnail. So Robert's going to be like, okay, Robert will be here. He's going to be like, I think he's going to have his hand in the air. So he's doing like a staying alive pose kind of thing. Might be a little too much. Okay, so that's going to be Robert kind of saying, "You are not welcome here." And then we'll have okay. And then we'll have let's see. So we're going to have, I want it smaller. We're going to have Home here looking real shocked. Was Home standing? Home's already standing. So in this case, it's like a very similar shot, but it's Home standing. So this will be Home foreground or whatever. Home has this wild hair, so we'll just kind of block that in for now. So Home is standing. He'll be kind of here. I think they're, He should be like relatively smaller and taller. I shouldn't be micromanaging my my own thumbnails here. But I want him a little bit taller because I want this to be almost like the okay. So this is going to be him. He's going to have his hands kind of like this. Okay, and then Mrs. Reimer is going to be like shocked. She'll be here. Their kind of weird thing. And I think maybe the couch they were sitting on will be just in the bottom of the frame. I like the idea of having maybe his hand out like that. Okay. Again, this is just a rough or a thumbnail. I shouldn't be being this tight on it, actually. So this is going to be him saying, "You're not welcome here, Mr. Home Wilson." So I'll be type here. And we're going to have the door frame here. Oh, that is total tangent. So the door frame is going to be kind of behind them. Her couch that she was standing from will be here. There's like a table thing that's kind of in the foreground here. Maybe it's a little higher up so it kind of matches. And then there's there's like some picture frames and the bookshelf, which will be here. Okay, cool. So there's our first bit. This is actually not bad. The great thing is actually I can probably use these thumbnails as blue lines to kind of do my roughs over. I kind of forgot about that yesterday. It was taking twice as long as I needed to. So that's panel 1. And we luckily did it on the right layer this time. I'm going to go ahead and go to the list and we'll just mark off panel 1. So there we go. He's basically saying Wilson. He's saying, let's get him out of here. Wilson enters as Robert is saying, show Mrs. Reimer and her guest out. So I like the idea of this being this is going to be a 6-panel page, so maybe this can be a little taller. It'll be Robert. So here's Wilson kind of entering. Wilson will have her hat. She's going to have her. Okay. It's got a more Italian style of outfit here. If you're okay. I want her like looking a little bit like she's rushed in to answer. So here's Wilson. And then we were going to have home here. Diggs BTW7 said, "Hi, what's up, G? How's it going? How are you doing?" I'm guessing you're watching from Twitch, which I generally like do most of my streaming through YouTube, but I do have a few viewers on Twitch. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this is going to be Robert very angrily. He's kind of going to be saying, actually, I think this will work. He's going to have his arm out like this, kind of like show Mrs. Reimer out. So this is going to be Robert. Again, this is just a thumbnail. We're not doing roughs yet. We're just doing thumbnail, just finding out basic placement. And this is Elizabeth's hand is still there. And she's like kind of mortified, I'm guessing. Partially because they just had like, in Victorian terms, it was like brutal, like fighting words. So she's going to be here, sort of standing. He's going to be saying this. I like the idea of home. Home can be in the foreground, kind of looking very offended. So we'll have home here sort of head down a little bit. And this is Wilson coming through the door. That's been open this whole time for her. So that'll be the door. And then hallway behind her, there will be a chair here. Eventually I'll work that out. And then there's the bookshelf is here. And perhaps the bookshelf can be, I think the bookshelf won't start till here. So it'll be something like that. So we have the couch kind of over here. We have the corner of the room with the siding. And we have possibly the table. So this is going to be probably a wider panel. I'll probably reduce it, but we'll have the type here so it can be show Mrs. Reimer and her guest out, which wouldn't take up as much space. So it should be something like this. I don't like that overlapping his head, so we'll have something like this. Okay, great. And our thumbnail part 2 is done. And these are kind of tight thumbnails, which I like. So they'll probably end up being blue lines that I can then do my roughs over. Okay, where are we at for time? Okay, we're at 30-minute mark. So I want to play the amazing new ad that I have for Jacob's Apartment, which is a voiceover of my my trailer for Jacob's Apartment that Adam Lohr kindly provided of Joe Biden endorsing Jacob's Apartment. And it's hilarious. So I'm going to play it. I'm really excited about this. If you think this is funny, check out Adam Lohr's channel. He also has another AI generated thing where it's like Joe Biden singing his song Particle Target. It's very funny. But anyhow, so we're going to play this brand new trailer. And then I'll come back and we'll finish these thumbnails.
I'm the president, Joe Biden, and I just want to say I endorse the comic book Jacob's Apartment by Joshua Kemble. It's a ghost rolled type book, a real ghost rolled book, and you can get it at Amazon.com. It's a sensation. It's taking the world by storm. And I just want to say thank you to Joshua. I just want to say thank you to Joshua Kemble. And I want to announce today that we're actually starting the Kemble Award for Outstanding Amazon Comic. So go check out Kemble. Thank you. Me splits clearly it seems, only in my dreams can I. They're split at the seams, and I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. Please go to Amazon.com.
So let me make sure that actually had audio. Let's see here. I'm just going to play it one more time just at the beginning to make sure it was.
I'm the President, Joe Biden, and I just want to say I endorse the comic book Jacob's.
Okay, so you could kind of hear it. Anyhow, hopefully that was a good Joe Biden bit. I thought that was hilarious. Okay, that was Adam Lohr's contribution. So if you guys don't know, if you want to make a trailer for Jacob's Apartment or Two Stories where you shout out your own channel and stuff like that, or even it's something silly like that, feel free, because I rotate through those as I take breaks. And I just realized I still have my let's put my, there we go. Okay. I still had my my image off after that was done. But anyhow, so yeah, I still take breaks while I'm streaming because I tend to do pretty long stream sessions, and it's nice to have those contributions to kind of play and fill the time and promote the books that I do. So thanks to Adam for providing that, and on to thumbnailing panel 3. So this is going to be, where are we here? Okay, so we have panel 2 done. Okay, let's go back to our list. Check off that. So we've got Wilson entering and Robert's text. Show Mrs. Reimer. Okay, so now we're going to do this. Oh, she's not standing up yet. Okay, that's actually a really important detail. So I need Mrs. Reimer actually sitting down. So she's still sitting down. He's still standing up from the previous panels. She's going to be sitting down and kind of shocked. Okay, so we'll have Mrs. Reimer here kind of sitting down. Then we'll have, I think this was going to be the bookshelf. There we go. Bookshelf here, Mrs. Reimer here. Okay. And again, we'll get into more detail when we get to the roughs. So then we have Mrs. Reimer. What are the phases? Okay. Okay, cool. So these both need to be kind of wide panels. So this one's going to be Mrs. Reimer rising from the sofa, taking home by the hand. So I think this will be, I like the idea of, maybe this is Robert in the foreground. You know what? Let's do the main action first. Okay. So we'll do Mrs. Reimer rising from the sofa and taking home by the hand. Actually, this might all work in one. Okay, we're going to do this as one wide panel. I think that would be better. So this is Mrs. Reimer. She's going to be, why am I giving her like a bowl hat? Okay, let's start with her face. She's going to be saying, come Daniel, he's gone mad. Okay, she has like kind of that old lady chin. and a bonnet thing. So she's going to be like very disturbed, saying like, "Come, Daniel." She's gone mad. She's got her thing here. She's going to have her arm out, grabbing Daniel's arm. So this is her kind of standing up, starting to stand up. And I think she'll have maybe a hand on his shoulder too. So this can be her getting up. She's got okay. And Home is going to be looking at her. So this will be Home. Home, this is a bad drawing of Home. Let's be looser with it. Okay. So Home is going to be here. I think I'll have his head down. There we go. Something like that. And then he's going to have his. We'll, of course, reduce the size of this. So he's furious and kind of insulted, but he's also retained his cool and gotten the optical win that he was kind of hoping for with Robert. I think I'll have him clenching his fist just to create more tension in the scene. Okay. What should his other hand be doing? I'm going to turn that off for a second. I almost feel like he should be kind of like having a moment. Okay. So that's going to be him and Miss Reimer. I want them to be kind of here. She's going to be saying, like, "Come, Daniel, he's lost his mind." Or he's gone mad. Oh, goodness. Hold on. "Come, Daniel, he's gone mad." Okay, and then this will be. I like the idea of this being Robert kind of standing. I'm wondering if I can do this. I think I can. Okay, I do think I can do it, but I need to reduce the size of them. I want to have Robert in the foreground, kind of like the back of him. So we'll see if we can do that. So I want it to be like Robert, kind of almost like we're actually seeing his hand like that. Okay, let's move them out of the way to just get the sketch of Robert done real quick. Oh, come on. Did I do those on the wrong layer or something? Ah, I did. Okay. Okay. So we have, let's see. We'll move this back over here. Okay, so I'm going to have them moved out of the way real quick so that I can sketch out Robert, because I'm kind of liking that arm. Okay. So it's going to be here. It's just Robert. Back of his coat. He's got like the high Victorian thing. His beard is here. Love it. Okay. And then we can have Elizabeth kind of by his side in a second. This is why I like digital stuff. Okay, so I want Elizabeth kind of here. Her hand is here. Her sort of wacky hair. This is her. This will be her. Her saying like, "Please." Okay. So we're gonna have like her. Definitely smaller. She's not that huge in comparison to Robert. Here she'll be saying please, and they'll be saying this. That's the wide panel. So this will be her saying please. It needs to be higher up because I want it to be red first. And I need to remember I'm not actually doing roughs yet. But actually what's cool is because these thumbs are a little tighter, the roughs are going to go super quick. And this will be Wilson possibly standing here. Is that too much to kind of include Wilson? And then we want to see, what does Wilson look like again? What's her hairstyle? Okay, it's like a kind of bowl type thing. Okay. Okay, so we'll have Wilson sort of with her hair. She's got her hat. I think it's, okay, let's see the hat again. What does your hat look like, Wilson? Okay, got it. She's going to have a hat that's sort of a little more like this. With her hand behind the door. And she'll have her apron. This will be the door. We'll have Robert overlap it so it's not a tangent. Might create a bit of a tangent. We'll have to adjust that when it comes to finals. So this is the door that she's standing behind. She's going to have her hand out. Doorway. Okay. This is actually coming around pretty good. I'm kind of digging it. I think I want this moved over to here so they can be a little closer in frame. So this is her please. That's a huge speech balloon for please. Please. I just don't like speech balloons that don't point to the mouth. So it does need to be like that, but it's got to have a bit more of a tail. I'm spending way too much time on this thumbnail, but it's not too bad actually. So we're at an hour now, which is not too bad, not too shabby. I'm liking how this is coming out. I think we can condense this panel now. And we can kind of do it as like one long wide shot. So okay, and okay, there's the couch they're standing up from. Here's the chair. No, the chair's not there. The gonna have the bookshelf. I don't think the bookshelf's actually that tall, so the bookshelf's probably going to be framing the top. Bookshelf has 3 rungs. We can get into more detail when it comes to the rough. I'm probably spending a little too much time on this thumbnail, but it's kind of coming out, so I don't want to mess with it. Like a flow that's working pretty well. This will be the picture frame behind them that's been framing that whole scene. The 2 sculptures, bottom of the picture frame. Don't think she needs that much. Still not a fan of this. I think they need this a little higher. Perfect. Okay. We'll get more in depth when it comes to the rough. Okay, so that has Come Daniel, He's Gone Mad. So we've actually condensed that all into one. So our next part is just this last one. So we don't actually need to show this. Let's go back to our list. We're good. We're done with this. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to our thumb. Well, we're not done with the list. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape. I think the actual roughs are going to go pretty quick. We're at the hour mark, and that means we'll play a trailer. So I'm going to play another trailer. This is the real Jacob's Apartment trailer, just so you can compare with Joe Biden's. Okay, here it is. Speak clearly, it seems that only in dreams can we these things we've seen and walk around breathing I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. There's dissonant things, they split at the seams. So, okay, thinking about this thumbnail, I actually think it would be better if it's another panoramic because we have a lot of action going on. And we could show quite a lot of what's happening here. Let me condense this down real quick. Okay. Not the reference. Merge down. Okay. So I think we're going to do kind of this same thing, but this panel is going to have Robert's hand down. She's going to be different. His arm's going to be down. Elizabeth's going to be moved. And they're going to be walking out. So, but at least we have a lot of that staging already set. So we're going to do, this is them leaving. He will be on her left if they have left kind of a similar way. So this is going to be him sort of storming out. Fists clenched. His arm out. His arm out. Mrs. Reimer is going to be here. Her arm. No. Her arm here. she's going to be, let's see, sort of with her hat, like, well, I can't believe it kind of thing. So she's walking out. Robert is, maybe his head changes too. So she'll be here. He'll be walking out here. Very stern, kind of strict strides. Okay. And then Wilson is supposed to be sort of chasing after them, but I don't know if that works too well. So I like the idea of it being Wilson. Okay, maybe we pan a little bit. So we allow a little room for Wilson. Okay, we're going to pan over a little bit. We're going to have Wilson here. Wilson is sort of rushing to help them out. So Wilson's hair. We have Wilson here. Hat. Wilson's hand. So Wilson's going to be here. We have our door frame here. Does this work? We didn't really see the ground. Okay, we need our ground level a little higher. Just to adjust that. So this would be this chair. We're just kind of fixing our perspective here. Okay. So there's Wilson, and then we're going to have our, again, this is just thumbnails, but these are really, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm really on a roll here. I think I want Robert's head kind of facing this direction now. Okay. And I kind of want his like hand on his, maybe his hands are on his hands are on his hips. Elizabeth's going to be watching them leave helplessly. Her hand is still on Robert's arm. So we'll have that kind of there. But she's moved, right? Just to be like seeing what's going on. Okay. Bookshelf. I like that all the tension's kind of on that side of the page too. So this will be the bookshelf or whatever. And then this will be the couch. So we have a rough idea of how that works. Okay, guys, we have a rough / thumbnail. It's a little bit tighter, especially the last few panels, than my thumbnails usually are, but that's great because that's going to be a good blue line to kind of work from. So hopefully these roughs go like super fast. Okay, we are done with our thumbnail. Okay, there's our rough thumbnail. Okay, so our thumbnail is here. We're going to call it thumb. I can turn off the reference, I think. And I think we can basically start getting into the last things. So we have our thumbnail. We're going to have our panel borders. So I'll reduce, actually, might as well reduce the thumbnail. We're going to end up making those blue lines. So this is a pretty easy stack here. So basically I want this to be scooted over quite substantially, almost flipped. So let's try that. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Oh, edit, transform, flip vertical. Let's try that. Nope. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Flip horizontal was correct. Okay. Oh, we need to see our guides. View extras. These are guides for, like this page will be on the left because it's an odd page. If you guys are watching right now too, let me know what you're working on. I know a lot of people who watch this do comics or art. I love knowing what everybody else is working on. It's very inspiring. Or if you're not doing comics or art, what do you do? Okay. So we've got our thumbnail roughly working here. Let's see here. Okay. Again, this is a rough, so it does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough to show my publisher so they get an idea of what the final page will look like, what the costumes are going to be like, what the lighting, staging, how it reads, how it flows. This is good. I haven't done a wide panel in a while, and I think it actually makes a lot of sense to have a wide panel. This is definitely not symmetrical though, so with the shape below it. So it needs to reduce by about half. So let's try that. Let's try like moving this down by like about that much. Back to here because we want to make sure we're view our guides again. Okay, that was okay for it to be a little bit there. Cool. Okay, now that's a little better, a little closer to what the final sizing will be. Let's get our guides again off. Hopefully you guys are able to see this. Okay, so we have our rough borders. Go ahead and save. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use the thumbnail that we created, and we're going to scale it and actually make it a blue line under the rough because they were pretty tight. You know what I should do before I do that though? Try and make a copy. Okay, there we go. I need to have a copy of the thumbnail just in case I screw up somehow. We have some nice little blue lines here now that can work really well. I actually don't even mind that being a little larger. Okay. And right now I'm just sizing the thumbnail. Like I don't always use this technique, but when I have tighter thumbnails that are working and I've been in the flow, it's like it doesn't make sense to redo all the structural work that I worked out in the thumbnail. It just makes a lot more sense to kind of polish it up, call it a day. Okay. We're going to have this here, this here. Sizing works better now. I like the idea of moving this over just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Let's get our eraser. Get rid of all the excess. Doesn't really matter too much to have too much excess because we're going to blue line this. So what I do is I'll actually convert the let's make sure it's locked. Okay. Convert that to blue lines. Maybe we can actually put them. No, I like them dark. Well, maybe we can go a little bit lighter. Let's go just a tad bit lighter with our blue lines. So, okay. So now we have blue lines. I'm going to save, and we're going to just rock these roughs as it's getting late in the day. So, okay. This is going to be Elizabeth. Elizabeth is shocked. Her hair is back a little bit more than usual. She usually has these crazy kind of locks and stuff. She's got her thing here. This is just a rough. So we're, again, like the goal here is to tighten it up so that the publisher has something to look at. Her arm is reaching out to Robert. Her hands. Sausage fingers there. That's okay. It's a rough. Got her 3-tiered outfit. So there's Elizabeth. We're going to get the table here. Let's do it a little bit tighter. Then we're going to have Robert. Robert is saying, I usually do text first. Okay, let's do that. It should be you are not welcome here, Mr. Home. I kind of don't mind that placement either. Again, we'll do more polished panel borders and stuff when we get to the final, but this is just a rough. Okay, he's saying you are not welcome, so I'm having him hold the vowel. Here is going to be the we made him a little too chubby here. There we go. We're going to have our hand going here. Okay. And we'll have our leg here. Okay, getting there. Elizabeth's other arm is here. Just kind of holding him back. He's like, hold my beer. Hold my champagne. This was a really good gesture of home. I don't think I need much else. I just kind of, again, I don't know what was going on tonight, but nicely loosened up. Oh, he has a wider forehead, though. That's the only thing. Home's forehead is very exposed. Okay. And then we're going to have... I think I want Home looking a little more mad, too. Okay. Have Home, his long, crazy hair. He has a shorter, somewhat like not as fashionable more contemporary, I guess. Lose the wonderful speed that's going here. We don't have good proportions on that arm. I needed to adjust those. There we go. Okay. And he has a Victorian coat, so it's kind of like that. And then we have Mrs. Reimer. Got her crazy thing. Bonnet. She has a roundish nose. Why was I drawing I was drawing it like Wilson's bonnet. Her bonnet's kind of weird. It actually has like these little things here. Kind of goes to the back. Let me double check how that works. Let's see. Okay. I think that kind of explains it. Okay, good. Okay. She has like a thing here. We have the couch. Okay, so now we need to get just the backgrounds in there, and then we're good to go. So I think we had our kind of our that is a bit of a tangent, but whatever. Okay. Our bookshelf. Quite a few tangents on this page. I think we were going to have her kind of holding her cup. And I think this is going to be there. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to do our doorway here. We'll have our door kind of opening here. We have our couch. I keep forgetting what this couch looks like too. Okay, let's check out the couch. See what this couch looks like. No shot of the couch there. Maybe here? Yes. Okay. It's kind of rounded, low angle. Okay. Okay. I think that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to do our rounded kind of couch thingy. Wait. Let's look at that couch again. How's the base? The base of the couch. Is it up high or is it on the floor? Okay, it's high. Okay, good. Okay, so base of the couch. Oof. Base of the couch was there. It's kind of up high. There's a thing here. This gets rounded and kind of comes down. It's like a chaise long. Okay. So then we have our rounded picture, our square picture, a rectangular picture, another rectangular picture, and there's like 4 square pictures underneath. I've had to draw this so many times. Then we have our molding. It's in the corner. This actually has some molding here too. And molding here. Molding. Cool. So we have our ref done for panel 1. We're going to go ahead and shade it, and then we'll move on to panel 2. And we're making okay time. I have another hour where I can work. I feel like this went pretty quick though, so I can pretty much work on this till 12. We're going to do some shading real quick just to establish lighting, light source. Robert's not pleased. Gonna have a cast shadow, kind of goes behind him. There's a shadow here. Definitely a shadow here. I think our table's gonna have a little bit of cast shadow. These are gonna get darker as they go down. Roof is gonna be pretty dark, but not totally dark. Behind the door is definitely dark. Okay. Just kind of shading things out. Okay. Home has dark hair. He is definitely going to be in shadow here. Has a dark, he's pretty much like a very dark figure. Okay. The floor is going to get darker as it goes back. Okay. Our shadows on the bookshelf. Mrs. Reimer. Back of this. Forgot 2 little details. There's supposed to be like a sculpture thing here. There's supposed to be a picture frame and another sculpture will be over here. Okay. Whew, we did it. Wait a minute. I don't like that door. Okay, cool. Save, move on. So that's one thumbnail. We're going to go ahead and play another trailer. This one is the 2 Stories Christmas trailer. So I'm in a decent drawing zone right now. The only downside is I had a late start today, and I also closed out my my script, so I have to find my place again, which is page 74. Let's see where we're at. So 40, 52, 74. All right, back to the page. Okay, and I'm hoping this is all visible to you guys. I think it is. Okay, so this is going to be saying, show Mrs. Reimer and her guest out. So we're going to have it say, show, oh my goodness, show Mrs. Reimer and her guest out. There's too much of a gap between guest and out. And we'll move her just a little bit. Okay. And we'll move this down a little bit. I don't think it needs to be cut off. It should be here. And I am way better when it comes to finals on speech balloons. I measure them out. That one's a little too wonky. Okay. Okay. So this is Robert. He's mad. Don't need a ton of detail because this is still a rough, but we're getting there. Adam said, dang, had your stream open this whole time, but it didn't refresh and start playing. Hey, we played your Joe Biden clip earlier. That's pretty freaking hilarious, man. That made my day. I was at work when I saw that. I was like, dude, that's hilarious. It cracked me up. I audibly chuckled, and I'm like listening to it while I'm working, trying not to like lose my... It's like the last thing I expected was to get a notification Adam's going live, and it the topic's Joe Biden endorses Jacob's apartment. That was the best, man. Anyhow, thank you. That kind of made my day. That was very funny. Okay, so we're just kind of having Robert. We're working through these roughs. I'm in a really good space today, like drawing wise, like real loose. I don't know. Maybe I got some sleep or something. Okay. I want him pointing out. Get out, sir. Out with you. Out with you, sir. I'm also using the thing that I forgot to use yesterday, which is when you have blue lines, it makes a big difference. Oh, let's not have that. That actually was fine. So my thumbnail, I'm just using to get the gesture, you know, and then we're kind of building from there. Let's see here. Weird angle for a foot. Okay, there we go. Very large feet here. I'm doing some not McFarlane, some Liefeld style feet here. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we've got Elizabeth, who's going to be here. Like, no. How's everything going, Adam? I hope everything's going well with you. What you working on? You working on your anthology piece? Wait, she's not supposed to be smiling. She's horrified. Her tea has been ruined. You guys, this is Victorian showdown. And like, you got to think, like, to the British, like, ruining tea time, that is them's fighting terms. I dare say, old chap, you ruined my tea time. I believe that's how it goes. If anybody watching is British, I apologize for my horrible rendition of my awful British accent. Okay, we're kind of working on her skirt, just kind of filling it out a little more. It's a 3-tier. There is a table here still in the foreground. We've got Wilson. Oh, I have to remember Wilson's outfit again. I think her outfit, I think I can do this. Yeah, Wilson has like kind of wide hair. This is a lower hat because this is her Italian outfit. She only gets 2 outfits this entire book, I think. I think she has short sleeves. Let's double check. Does she have short sleeves? Yep, she does. Boom. Boom, chicka boom. Okay. So she has short sleeves. So that's good to know. Her hand is going to be sort of doing one of those. was a little bit of a wonky hand, but it's a rough, so who cares? She's got an apron. And she's here. That is a bad looking hand. Let's adjust that. Carve it. Okay. Also, what is going on with her posture there? She's dislocated her arm, apparently. Much better. Okay. Okay, so doorways behind her. We're going to have home here in the foreground. I should use a thicker line. Home has like a more of a bridge on his nose. Wide chin. This is going to be home in the foreground. Cool. Okay, so we've got our doorway here. Chair here. The chair is totally making a tangent with his chin, but it's a rough. We'll adjust that in the final. Okay. Interesting, very tiny chair there. Needs bigger legs. And then we have our bookshelf here. And we have our molding. Oh, man. And we have our picture frame. There's like another square one. There's two here. And we're going to have just a little bit of the couch showing. Just a little bit of the couch showing. Okay, and then this is a very strange room. Okay, and there we go. Knocked out and done. So now we just need to tone it. So let's get some tones in there. Wilson? Poor Wilson. She's like called in to like usher out these people after a total public kind of blowout. Okay. And we've got this going. This is going to be very dark here because it's got the shadow kind of cast by the bookshelf. These all get kind of dark as the ceiling gets a little taller. And then we've got receding darkness. It's going to get gradually darker as it goes back. And then we have home, foreground. He's got cast shadow. Boom. Rough done. So two panels. We have oh man. Okay, cool. We still have time. Adam said people are posting some really awesome stuff in the anthology group. It's going to be really good. That's awesome. And he said he's working on his hero planet for the anthology. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to play another trailer. This one will be fun.
Hi,
Here.
my name is Phil Chandler. I'm a freelance artist, illustrator, and cartoonist. Today, though, however, I want to tell you about a graphic novel I picked up recently called Jacob's Apartment. This book was both written and beautifully illustrated by Joshua Kemble. It is the story of a doomed romance that causes the main character to question his beliefs and his faith, while he's also going through other tragedies in his life. Every page has been illustrated by hand and digitally colored with painstaking detail. It is an emotional story that causes you to think and even question things in your own life. And while the story is a tragedy, it is one that I was completely entertained by and I highly recommend. You can currently find this on Amazon or even check in with your local bookstore and see if you can order it. And while you're at it, you can also check out my Instagram at Phil Chandler Arts and also my YouTube channel by the same name, Phil Chandler Arts. And go buy Jacob's Apartment.
So we're on a roll. We're back and we're rocking. This is going to be Show Mrs. Reimer and her. Oh, I missed something. It's in such a good drawing vibe that I missed the. That's actually a really nice little detail. That's him like having trouble even calling the guy a guest. He's so offended. Okay. So now we're going to have please. I think I'll do this lowercase. Because she's kind of pleading, but is just sort of stunned that this whole thing is blown up. Then we're going to have our, what would this be? Come. Got to thin that out. Come, Daniel. Let's see. Come, Daniel. He's gone mad. It's funny. It always takes a while. Like when I get in final mode, right? I get a little tighter, and then it's like getting back to the 5 pages that I do of thumbnails and roughs. It takes me a while to kind of get in the flow, but like once it's unlocked, it's like a lot easier. So hopefully I can finish this by 2. That's my goal. So we'll see. I think I'll start with Wilson. Let's just start on the left and kind of work our way out. So here's Wilson. She's going to have okay. Wilson's hair. And I'm glad I did like really good thumbnails for this. So it makes my rough like a million times easier. Oh yeah, she's got short sleeves. Okay, and then we've got Wilson. Her arm is going to be here. I didn't actually draw her arm in my thumbnail. She's got her apron. Cool. Wilson's got her apron and she's backed against the door. Robert is pointing. I didn't like that his hand's getting kind of chopped off there. It's a real bad tangent. I think I need to shorten his arm or just crook it a little more. It's not bad. It's just, it shouldn't be like right by the... Okay. So she's got her kind of thing here. Okay. Robert's going to be arm back a little bit. Now let's do Robert. So here's Robert. Mad. To adjust a few things. Elizabeth, we'll do her next. This is actually working pretty well. It's already 1:24. Okay, I have 30 minutes. Let's see if we can make it. Her hand is here. This is a weird angle, but I can make it work. Okay, and then we're gonna have Mrs. Reimer is shocked. We do some Herge. I always like that when Herge did. He'd always do those dots and then the. I think that's pretty awesome. Okay. This is Reimer. She's got kind of a kindly old lady. She's offended. Okay. Her kind of crazy hat. It's got like these things on it. Okay. Okay, she is saying, let's get the hell out of here. Okay, that kind of works. This is home. Okay. And we're at 129. So we might be able to make it, guys. We might be able to get this done. His arm was a little too long there, so I'm going to shorten it. Hand's a little too big. Cool. Okay, now let's get our background in. We're almost there, guys. I think we'll make it in time. Anyhow, Adam, if you're still there, though, thank you again for that. That was hilarious. So what was that AI you were using for that? It was pretty convincing. I'm kind of impressed. AI voice changer or whatever. And it kind of sounded like, it was weird because it's like it sounded like your cadence. So I'm wondering if it like is like almost like a voice transformer or something that like you speak into, because it sounded like your tempo of speaking, but it was Joe Biden's voice, which was hilarious. Maybe I'm just too easily amused by that stuff, but to me that was pretty amazing. So we have that. I should thicken this up. Total tangent. That's okay. I don't care at this point. I gotta get this rough done for the publisher. I mean, I should kind of care, so we'll avoid tangents as best as we can. It's hard with a bookshelf to avoid tangents. How many tiers is this bookshelf? Good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 sections. So that's way too tall. One, two, three. There we go. 4. So that makes 5 divisions. Cool. Let's see. Da 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 da. Yeah, Adam was saying, yeah, I spoke and it turned him into his voice. The Biden voice is one of 2 free ones there. There are a lot of voices you can pay to access. Yeah, I noticed some pretty cool voice changing stuff, which is pretty funny. Pretty soon we're going to have to question everything we see and hear like 20 times more than we ever have. It's actually a little disturbing because it's like AI has gotten so good. It's still got like a bit of a way to kind of decode it, but it's not far from like Oh, Adam said you can save it in 15-second intervals, which is why it sounded pieced together. I thought it was funny. I love the point where you said Kemble, Kremble, Kremble. It was funny. Speaking of Kremble, if you guys want to be official members of the Kremlin, which is the followers of this live stream, I think there's memberships available. Which gives you special emojis. And I've only made one special emoji so far. But it also gives you a status symbol in the chats, so people can see your loyalty and the amount of time you've been here. It's nothing huge, but it's a way to like kick me a couple bucks a month or something for like content, which is kind of cool. Thought I'd mention it. I have no idea how you sign up for it though. I just set it up today, so I'll do more research on it. But if you guys know how that works, or if any of you sign up for it, you want to reach out to me just to be like, hey, I just clicked this thing and that's how it worked. Let me know, because it's something entirely new and I thought it would be cool to set up. Okay, I think that's it for this. Yes, okay. Now let's do some shading, and that buys us about 20 minutes. Start with shading the figures. Very quick, just wash of shade just to kind of give some depth and lighting, so the publisher gets a vibe of like what the final will look like. At some point in time, I'd love to do a comic like in this style. It'd be fun. Just like real loose, real sketchy. Be interesting to see if anybody would dig it. Because it would definitely take a lot less time. Like I could, in theory, knock out pages like this in like a couple hours. Whereas my other pages take like 8 to 10 hours after I've done roughs. So which is way quicker than my like traditionally inked pages. It would take me like sometimes 16 to 20 hours. Forgot I was heightening the floor line there. Home is not pleased. He's so offended. Super offended. I dare say, sir. Anyhow, I think the way the membership thing works too, it gives you priority in chats too, which is kind of cool. But again, I need to read more on it. So, and when you say read more on it, it sounds like I'm saying moron. Oh my gosh. Here all night, guys. Well, not really. I'm here for like 20 more minutes and I'm running out of time. So what we're going to do is when this is finished, I'll play one more trailer when this is finished, and then we'll finish up this page. And I think we'll just go as long as we need to because we're so close. Be ashamed to like leave unfinished rough. Darken some of the values. I'm pretty much muddying everything, but that's okay. Actually, I just muddied everything. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. That's actually a little clearer. Okay, we're going to save. And then we're going to do our last rough. The last of the roughs. The last of the Mohicans, you guys. All right. So I'm going to put the next trailer. This one's Jim Luhan's Wordzoid trailer. All right.
Well, Peter, since I'm such a big music fan, I'm going to have to go with Karen Carpenter. Oh, Stu, I'm sorry. That's the incorrect answer. Trish, what you got for us?
I'm going to go with Kim Gordon.
All right, let's check that answer. Kim Gordon. Do we have a Kim Gordon? Yes, and that means you're our new Wordzoid champion, Trish. Dale, tell Trish what she's won. Trish, you've won a copy of 2 stories, a memoir of faith and mental illness. Handwritten, hand-drawn, and handed to you by artist and writer Joshua Kemble. But wait, that's not all. You've also won a copy of Jacob's Apartment, the story of a doomed romance. What happens when you take Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and put it in a blender with Ghost World? You get Jacob's Apartment, written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. Trish, thank you for playing Wordzoid.
All right, great job, Trish.
I was told I was going to get a lifetime supply of paper towels.
Okay, so we're back. I am just going to finish up the roughs for this. Luckily, I had really tight thumbnails, and I really enjoyed the way the movement happened in them. At the beginning of the stream, I was just nice, loose, ready to rock. So these shouldn't take that long, in theory. So this is going to be Wilson. Wilson is rushing to get the door. So we have Wilson. She's got her short sleeves on. Getting tight again. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. This should be arched. Okay, it's a rough. It's funny when I like start fixing like drawing issues and I'm like, no, it's a rough. Like it's just a rough. You do not need to overburden it. Let's see here. That's good enough. 3 fingers is fine. Okay. She's a little too thin there. Okay. Okay, that's Wilson rushing out. We have Home here. Home's very offended and walking away. His mop of hair. Reimer's hand is going to be on his arm. And he is just close-fisted. Okay. So there's Home. And we've got Mrs. Reimer, who's going to have her sort of thing here. She's leaving. She's got her wacky thing. She's going to have her hand here. Her arm is way too long. Noticing that in my thumbnails, I make the arms way too long. Okay. She is walking out. Of her almost like she's holding her skirt or something. And this is gonna go back here. Will be the skirt. Her skirt. Mrs. Reimer's leaving. We got Robert. Huge ear, whatever. That's okay. Robert's shoulder. Robert is not having it. Okay, Robert's there. Okay, Robert's done. Now we got Elizabeth. Vic said, as usual, when I wake up. Nice. How's it going, Vic? Welcome back. I need to have like the Welcome Back Cotter theme song. I wonder if that would be a copyright infringement. Adam, what do you think? Because it would be funny to play that anytime like Vic arrives, where it could be like, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay. So we've got her. She's definitely like not happy about that was the weakest hand I've drawn in years. Whatever. Okay. So we've got her arm. Her shoulders are forward. Okay. And I don't like that I can't see her other arm. So I think actually it would be best if like maybe we can have like another hand here. Just because like I mean she's disappointed that they're leaving. Might as well, right? Okay. And it makes a better silhouette too. More movement. What was it? 5 tears. Okay. 5 tears, you guys. 5 single tears. Wept. By tears, I just meant 5 shelves, not actual tears, guys. Speaking of tears and like emo stuff, though, I am going to see Sunny Day Real Estate this Sunday. I am stunned. I have not seen them since 1999 at their last show. That was at This Ain't No Picnic. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and I literally never thought I would get to see them again. Jeremy Ennick like does his own like solo stuff. Vic said, today is going to be straining. I got 2 pages I got to try to do. You can do it, man. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. Okay. 2. That's basically going to be my entire stream, is just telling people super positive messages. You can do it. Go forward. Move ahead. Just whip it. Okay. Anyhow, here we go. By the way, you know that song, the Whip It song? That's a great song. When a problem comes along, you must whip it. I'm just saying that's a badass song. That's all I'm saying. I lost all street cred. I think I gained some street cred by saying Sunny Day Real Estate, and then I lost it all the second I sang Whip It. Although to certain aficionados of music, I think they would agree Whip It is a great song. It's a badass song. That's a banger. Put that on at a wedding. You will have a dance party occurring. But I'm actually really excited about seeing Sunny Day again. I think there's one member missing because they're like full-time touring with the Foo Fighters. But I think all the original members, other than that one, are in. And it's pretty thrilling. And if you guys haven't heard Sunny Day Real Estate, you should check them out. Oh, that's cool. There's more room for a couch. This is like a kind of weird couch, but my favorite album by Sunny Day Real Estate is an album called How It Feels to Be Something On. And I'm particularly fond of that one because I had never heard of Sunny Day Real Estate. I'd never heard of them in 1999. I went to This Ain't No Picnic to see Sonic Youth and Tom Watt and a bunch of other people that I had heard of. Sorry, did I say Tom Watt? Mike Watt. Tom Watt? I'm just making up names now. Anyhow, so then this band, there were two bands that I saw at This Ain't No Picnic. One was this incredible band with afros that were like jumping on top of each other, had one of the best, most intense stage performances I'd ever seen, and were playing like post-hardcore, which at the time was just like not being done. And that was at the drive-in. They were on the side stage. And that we picked up, my friend Josh and I, who I do music with, we picked up Via by At the Drive-In there. And we were like, what is this band? And then like they kind of blew up later. So that was cool. And then aside from that, there was a lot of good bands at that show. Sonic Youth got their equipment stolen. So they had to borrow, oh my gosh, I can't even remember whose equipment they had to borrow. I think it was Rocket from the Crypt. They had to borrow their instruments. But anyhow, then one of the last bands to play was Sunny Day Real Estate, and I had never heard Diary, which is like their huge album. I hadn't heard any of it, and How It Feels to Be Something On had just come out, and that's why that's my favorite Sunny Day album, because like I bought all their albums just based on their performance, because I was like, this band is amazing, like unbelievable. But then like later on, they kind of went on to become, them and At the Drive-In became like these really essential bands. And it was funny. Definitely one of those like weird indie rock moments where you're like, dude, I knew them before they blew up, you know? But anyhow, the sad part was after I got into Sunny Day Real Estate, they broke up. And like Jeremy Enick went off and did his own thing. A bunch of the members joined the Foo Fighters. Notoriously, the drummer was like, I think the first official drummer for the Foo Fighters. And then I think he lasted about a week of recording The Color and the Shape. And Dave Grohl went in and re-recorded all of his tracks. That's how he found out he was out of the band, which is kind of a crappy thing. And he's an incredible drummer. But anyhow, so yeah, that's all my stuff about Sunny Day, but I'm very excited about that show. I don't go to shows as often as I used to, but there's these occasional like super magical shows. This one was like when Sunny Day got back together, there's no way we're not going to go see that show. Because again, this is a band, you know, that when I got it, I saw live once, and then I got super into them. They became like one of my favorite bands of all time, and then just totally just disappeared. And you could catch Jeremy Ennick live, but it's just not the same. I mean, it's almost the same, but not quite the same. So this is very cool. I think they did another side project called The Fire Theft for a little bit too. That was pretty cool. Nick said that couch looks very dentist officey. Yeah, this is actually all of this furniture is not my decision. It's all based on actual furniture that was in Casa Gaidi. So the colors and everything are a little out of my control because it's a very well-known location. And so like if people who are you know, like Browning's fans, which there are, you know, because they're pretty famous poets, peruse this and they're familiar with Casa Gaidi. I want it to at least look similar enough to where people would be like, oh, okay, that's definitely Casa Gaidi, their residence. But it is a little dentist officey for sure. Very ornate too, and it is also kind of a pain in the ass to draw. So. But that's what all the decisions on the furniture and stuff were kind of made for me. I guess it's a benefit and a downside of historical fiction is like you kind of are a little pigeonholed by history if you're trying to get it right. But you can take some liberties, you know. There's definitely places where we've taken liberties. But Casa Gaidi is not one of those places. We did it. We did it, and it's 150 freaking 9. So I do not have time to do my customary. I can't believe we made it. I thought I was going to have to push it past 2. So I definitely don't have time to do my customary closing game of Risk because I need to get sleep. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys didn't check out Adam Lohr's amazing Joe Biden endorsement of Jacob's apartment, definitely either back up this stream or you can check it out on Adam Lohr's channel as well. But I'll be playing that in the rotation of breaks because it's hilarious. Kind of made my day. You know what? Let's play it one more time to close this out, and then we'll call it a night. And if you haven't yet and you've been watching this, hit that like button right now. Right now, what are you doing? And also hit that bell so you get notifications when we're about to go live. And then if you can figure out how to do the membership thing, I know I set it up, but I do offer membership on the YouTube channel. Once I figure out the specifics of it, I'll let you know. Let's watch Adam's amazing video again. This was a riff on, I think, made while watching the Jacob's Apartment trailer on YouTube, but it's kind of genius. Okay, here it is.
I'm the President, Joe Biden, and I just want to say I endorse the comic book Jacob's Apartment by Joshua Kemble. It's a ghost rolled type book, a real ghost rolled book, and you can get it at Amazon.com. It's a sensation. It's taking the world by storm. And I just want to say thank you to Joshua. I just want to say thank you to Joshua Kemble. And I want to announce today that we're actually starting the Kemble Award for Outstanding Amazon Comic. So go check out Kemble. Thank you. Me you splits clearly, it seems. You're only in my dreams, can I? There's split the seams, and oh, I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. Please go to Amazon.com.
Oh man. I'm kind of glad my audio was cut. I was tearing up laughing so bad. That is so funny. The I, the fact that he did kind of a riff on the song too. It's just perfection. Thanks again. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a good night. I will see you on the next live stream. Bye.